Hi, I'm Brandon, and I want to welcome you to the Tansson Talks show, where our mission here is always to help bring people together. I always love doing this, and I'm so excited to welcome today's guest. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course, I'm so happy to have you. And so, first of all, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm so excited to speak with you.
Me too. I'm so honored to be here. It's actually my first time in a podcast, so
That's amazing. Well, it's an honor for me to be the first host to welcome you.
thank you.
Yes, hopefully the first of many. And so, are you able to go ahead and introduce yourself for the watching or listening audience here today?
Yeah, well, my name is Jerelyn. I'm from Puerto Rico. I was born here in San Juan, but I moved to Aguadilla, and then I moved back to San Juan to study. I'm currently a junior undergraduate student at Strategic Communications and Public Relations, and I hope to attend law school when I graduate. So,
That's exciting. I'm so excited to definitely dive into your story and learn more about you, and I'm so excited to officially meet you. Yeah, and so I wanted to first ask a little bit since you mentioned that you plan on going to law school. I did want to ask, what do you plan to overall do for a career?
so here in Puerto Rico, public relations are regulated. So we have to get a license in order to, work as a PR. And I would also want to get a lawyer's license. So I thought I really love politics. I love working with everything that has to do with law and civil rights and human rights. And so I figured I was gonna go with a marketing. Like I planned to go to grad school to go to marketing, but then I said like I like law, and here in Puerto Rico we have one of the best universities of the whole Caribbean that has a law school. So I was like, why not apply there? So that's my goal. And I want to be a lawyer and I want to be a peer agent. So
That's outstanding, and I certainly know that you're going to be able to do it.
thank you. Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, and so going back to the beginning, so what first got you interested in public relations?
I chose this career like really close to the time that class were gonna start. I was not deciding yet what I wanted to do, and I learned about the Universidad Sagrado Corazón, which is the college I'm in, and they had this PR and communications program I was really interested in, so I gave it a try. The first professor I had from PR made me fall in love with it. She was the best. She's actually one of the advisors of our PRSSA chapter. So, and she made me fall in love with PR because it was so interesting and she made it so dynamic and I loved it. I even love PR more than general communications, but here you can complete a bachelor's degree in PR. It's just a minor. They just offer the minor, so I had to stick to it. But I love PR, so
That's outstanding, and I'm so glad that you had such amazing professors and support when you first started. And yeah, and so overall, how has your college journey been thus far?
like I said, I don't live here. I live like 2 hours away from college, so it's been kind of hard, like being away from my family and kind of starting again. I have my friends there. I have everything there, and then just going to another city to complete your dreams. It has been great. Like uh, this college offers you so many opportunities, like internships and scholarships and travel opportunities. Last year, I got to travel to California for the first time to attend the Icon. So, and this year in March, I'm going to the Leadership Assembly at North Carolina. So, it's actually been great. It's been hard, like I said. It's not easy, moving away. And college classes are a little more difficult than high school, but it has been great. I have no complaints.
I love that, and I'm so glad that you're able to pursue your dreams and to travel, even though, of course, you're a bit away from family.
But it's worth it. At the end of the day, I really enjoy college, and I feel like it's going way too soon. Like I'm a year away from graduating, and I feel like I started yesterday. So
We'll definitely cherish these times while we have them. I know for me, yeah, my 4 years went by so fast, and even now, I still can't believe it's over.
I feel like when I graduate, I'm gonna be like, how? Like, what? Where did the time went? I don't feel like I've been here for 3 years. So
Well, that's great though that you have been able to, yeah, like I said, to work hard, continue with your studies. And so I did want to backtrack a little bit. And so since you mentioned that, of course, you're a few hours away from family, how was that initial transition going from high school to college?
well, I was 18 at the time, so it was really hard. I still go back home and visit my family, but it was like I had to leave my house like from one day to another and just come here basically alone because I didn't know anyone and start over. It's like you need to get new friends, you need to meet people, you need to do well in college. So it was kind of hard, and I feel like the first year I I couldn't get myself like to understand what I was doing. I was like, why am I doing this? And every single time I have to get here, like every single Sunday that I'm like, I get in my car and I'm like, I need to go to someone. I'm like, why? Why did I choose to go to college so far away? But at the end of the day, like I said, it's so much worth it. And I feel like I would never have these opportunities back in my hometown. So I have no regrets.
I'm so glad that it's all working out. And how often do you go back and forth between San Juan and your hometown?
Weekly, I go back to home like on Thursdays and come back on Sunday. Because I used to work there back in my hometown. So,
Well, that makes sense. And if I remember correctly, you also work regularly too.
yeah, I have a job as a cashier. So I used to work there. And I'm doing an unpaid internship with Caribbean Cinemas. I don't know if I can say like brand names.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm working with the theater. And they're like I get to cover events and I create content and make things for their social media, and it's actually great. I'm not getting paid for it, but I'm getting so much experience and getting to know so much people, and my networking is growing so much, and I get to develop some skills that in the classrooms are we're not so able to develop. So yeah, I feel like working and studying, even though it's really hard, it's a great experience that you get to complement what you're studying with what you're working with. So
That's great. And what would you say is the importance of you, yeah, having that internship, and what have you been able to learn thus far?
I feel like I said, networking is I love it. I'm when I started here, I was so shy. I'm still kind of shy, but I'm someone that likes to talk a lot and likes to meet people and make friends. And so that part of networking and knowing people and then getting to know a CEO or I don't know a PR manager or someone that has completed what you want to be in the future. What's really great because it makes you seem like what you're doing is worth it because you're going to be there someday.
Oh, I completely understand what you mean. I know for myself, I've always been a quiet and reserved person, and I still definitely am. But I would have never pictured myself like hosting this podcast and doing all the stuff that I'm doing. And so sometimes you just have to get yourself out there a little bit, get outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, it's part of the job. We're working with communications. We have to talk, we have to meet people. So
Absolutely. And what would you say has been, I guess, the most fun part of doing this? Because not only, of course, are you doing your unpaid internship, you're also, working and hopefully being able to see family while also studying. Certainly a lot on your plate.
yeah. So first of all, I get to live like two lives because when I go back to my hometown, I see some people and I see my friends and I see my family, and it's like living one life, and then when I get back here in San Juan, I'm living the other life. And so it's really great because I've traveled a lot. I've learned like new places here in Puerto Rico and outside of Puerto Rico. I've met so many people around the whole island because here where I'm staying while I study, there's people from all around Puerto Rico, like other cities, and so I've met so much people, and I feel like growing my friend list and my networking, like I said, it's one of the best things I've gotten from here. Whenever I graduate, I'm gonna get these friends. Like I'm gonna still talk to them, and I feel like that's one of the best parts of this.
But that's so great, and I like that you said that you practically get to live two lives. Especially
Yeah,
with going place to place.
yeah. It's kind of hard, but like I said, I love it. I wouldn't change it for anything.
I love that, and yeah, and I definitely did want to ask you since you've had some travels lately. So, how was your trip to California?
I loved it. I that was my second time I think visiting the USA, and we had a great time. I feel like it's a really long flight from here because it was like almost a day traveling, so it's really long. But once we got there, it was amazing. It was otherwise we thought we thought that it was gonna be hot, and for some reason it was really cold. And when we got there, we were like, "What is this weather?" But then the stores, I love the stores. I love I got to went to Disney downtown. I loved it. The people, I loved. I met new people. I met people from Argentina and Peru and other states in the United States, and so it was amazing. Like in that moment, I was already part of the RSA, but in that moment, I got to fall in love, like completely with the association. So I was like, this is so big. Like there are people from all around America participating in this, and it's so cool. So I loved it.
That's so great, and have you? And I like that you were able to, to meet new people, especially, other people coming from Latin America. And how was it to be able to network with so many people and, I mean, be a part of the international conference?
Well, most of the people I met, you already interviewed them. So I feel like every single people I met, I saw myself in them. I was like, I want to be like you someday because most of them were older than me and were already graduating. So I was like, I want to be what you are. And they're already working in what they love and they're already, planning their future studies and things. And I was like, meeting new people makes me like dream more. I feel like I see them and I'm like, if they can do this, I can do it too. And so I loved meeting new people because it helps me. I'm sorry, to develop some things I didn't know. They showed me like how to improve my LinkedIn and how to manage how I meet other people. And they encouraged me to participate in a lot of things. Like one of the girls that recommended me here, I met her there. So I feel like I love meeting new people because they're getting me outside of my comfort zone, and that's just what I need.
I love that. And I love that it was able to provide you that experience and, and allow you that opportunity.
Yeah, it was like I recommend it for everyone seeing this. If you have the opportunity to travel while you're studying, that's gonna like turn around the whole studying experience. Like you're gonna feel like you're doing so many great things, and it feels so professional to have the opportunity to visit another country while also improving things from your career. So just do it.
I love that. And I believe you mentioned that was your second time in the US?
Yeah, my first time I went to vacation with my family, and so I went to Florida for the first time, and then this time, well, I went to California, and now in March I'm going to North Carolina, which is my third time. So
Are you excited for North Carolina? I mean, it's
I
almost here.
am. I am. It's like 2 weeks away, and I'm so excited. I'm already looking for the outfits. I'm really. I'm texting the girl. Traveling with. And I'm like sending her updates and TikToks about what to do in North Carolina. And so I'm really excited for it. I love traveling. I don't care if I travel like 15 minutes away or like 10 hours away. I love traveling. So I always get excited before.
I love that, and I'm the same way. I am just getting into traveling, in part thanks to PRSSA, and I mean, it's been so fun being able to travel, whether it's just a few minutes away, a few hours away, and everything in between. And so, I've been loving it.
Yeah, it's like you get to experience something outside of just sitting in a classroom, listening to the teacher. You get to meet new people, new cultures, and I feel like it's so, I don't know the word to say that, but something that helps you a lot, like improve yourself.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, but I certainly hope that, like I said, that you are going to have an amazing travel to North Carolina. And what would you say you are most excited about for that trip?
Um, well, that trip is going to be the first time I go to like the assembly. So I have no idea of how that's going to be going on. So I'm just excited to know who the new people in the national committee are going to be. And I also hope to see more Latin representation because this last year, our national president was from Argentina, so she was Latin. And so I've seen so much improvement, like so much inclusion for the new for the Latin community. And so I wish I think one of the guys I'm traveling with, he's also from Argentina. He's trying to be in the national committee. So I'm really excited to see more representation and more diversity. So hopefully, I get to see that.
I certainly hope so as well. And I mean, I've been even seeing online some of the amazing steps Pierre to say National has been taking towards inclusion, especially of the Latin American community. And I know it will definitely continue forward. And so it's so exciting to see it.
Yeah, actually, one of the things they're trying to we apart from the annual election, we have the bylaw amendments. They the people that are running for a national position, they like write something to amend from the PRSA bylaws, and one of them states to change the name of national committee to international committee because apart from being just USA, it includes all parts of America. Now we have a chapter in Mexico and Argentina, Puerto Rico, Peru. So that's one of the things I'm most excited about because I love the name. I hope it happens, and so I can't wait.
I love that. And I certainly hope it does happen. Definitely keep me posted with that.
Yeah, I will.
And yeah, I mean, that's definitely outstanding. And I know you where you'll be in North Carolina is actually only one state away from where I am.
Where are you?
Oh, I'm in Virginia.
Oh, yeah, that's so cool. That's even closer to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and actually, as a little fun fact, is that I was just in Puerto Rico in January.
Did you like it?
Oh, I loved it. I really am excited for whenever I have the chance to return, and so yeah, it was an amazing experience. I was there to include travel days, about 6 days.
Okay. At what time? What dates do you come? Oh, so at the end, like the last 2 weeks in January, we have a festival we call the Sunset. It's like the best time of the year. We have music. We have so many people this year. I think they reached like 1 million people attending it. So it's like really big throughout the whole Old San Juan. And so if you had the opportunity to experience that, if you don't, I really recommend it. So if you plan to travel next to Puerto Rico again, that time, I feel like it's the best. You get to experience our culture, our food, our music. I love it. I go every single year.
Oh, that's amazing. And we had a chance to visit just a little of Old San Juan. We wish we had a little bit more time to fully explore, but we were there January 2nd through 7th.
Yeah, we were in Christmas anyways, because we celebrate Christmas like really long. We start like in November and we end like almost in February. So
I was there for a volunteer event for Dia de Reyes.
oh, that's so cool.
But yeah, but I certainly loved it, and I definitely, like I said, hope to be able to return over these next few years. But I did want to shift back, of course, to your story. So I know that you wanted to speak a little bit about being able to immerse yourself in culture and being able to continue your own personal learning. So I'd love to hear sort of what you've been up to.
So as like I was gonna say this at the beginning, but I feel like this is the best time to say it. Like you can see, my English is not like the best because it's not my first language, and so I feel like every single person that has the opportunity to like come to the podcast or travel, and they don't have like the access to learning English before. We in Puerto Rico, we are citizens of the United States, and so we learn English ever since like basically we were born. Like it's in our schools, in every system, and so we get to speak it like from very early ages. I'm sorry. But there are people I met like they don't know English, and I feel like there's not enough like Spanish speakers, or not many people that know Spanish or understand it. And sometimes like if you have the difficulty like speaking it, you don't get to have the opportunities maybe other people that do speak it have. And that's one of the things that I had like trouble with, because I'm trying to improve the way I speak. And I understand it, I completely do, but it's just when I speak it, I feel like my pronunciation is not the best, and I'm trying to improve that. But I feel like we should have opportunities, like without having to learn. And that's one of the things I care the most about.
For the language barrier, would you say that you were surprised with how extensive it is?
I don't think I was surprised because I kind of knew. But like I told you, it was my second time traveling, so I haven't like, visited a lot of times USA, so I don't know like a lot about it. But once you get there, it's so much different than Puerto Rico, because we are, even though we're like, I feel like we're in this exact middle between Latin America and the United States, because we're kind of, we look like both. So once I got there, I was like, this is nothing like my country. And but I wasn't surprised that people didn't know Spanish, because it's not like something you get to learn. Like we are basically forced to learn English ever since we go to school and we take English classes. And it's common for Puerto Ricans to be bilingual, but it's not in every country. So I know like not every people have that opportunity. And so once I got there, I got to meet people that actually talk Spanish. Um, I met someone that he was from Mexico, or his parents were from Mexico, so he spoke completely Spanish, like really well. But there were very little people, and so I feel like that could be different.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I know for me when I was in Puerto Rico, even though I've taken it upon myself to start learning a little bit more of Spanish, I learned it in school, but not like to fluency, just so at least you
Yeah.
know some of the basics and understanding. But it was interesting because I understood a lot more than I thought, but I also knew that I had so much more to learn.
I feel like Spanish is actually a lot easier than English, so it's you can learn it really fast.
I know for me, what was interesting is the difference between, I guess, proper, language versus, common use.
Yeah. And we also have a lot of, I feel like that's the confusing part of it. Especially here in Puerto Rico, we use a lot of words out of context. Like, we take the word and use a complete different meaning, and you can know the word, and you can be like, oh, this means, like, this is the definition of this word, but we use it in a completely different context. And so once you get here, you're like, what are they even talking about? And I feel that's, like, the difficult part. But apart from that, it's really easy to, understand and talk it and speak it. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I mean, it really is. And I'm getting slowly better. Not quite there to speak just yet, but hopefully, within a few months, years, maybe by my next visit.
Hopefully, it's not only because of diversity, but it's gonna help you get so many opportunities. Speaking many languages. Myself, I want to learn more languages. I'm trying to learn French. I tried in high school, and then I stopped. But I want to learn. I know basic sign language, and I want to learn sign language too. So I'm trying to expand that, because it gives you so many opportunities, and also you get to meet new people, and I feel like it gives you so much opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad that, I mean, we have even these platforms now for us to even, speak these long distances, like thanks to platforms like this Riverside and Zoom and some other platforms.
Yeah, I feel like this is the greatest invention. Like this whole platforms and AI things that helps us so much. I feel like thank God for technology.
Oh, absolutely. And I did want to ask too. So I know that when we were speaking a little bit earlier, that yeah, of course, you are studying strategic communication alongside, of course, communication as a whole. Has there been anything that you have learned from your other communication classes that you've been able to apply into public relations?
Yeah, I feel like it's really it's like a branch one of another, and so it relates one with another. But I feel like here strategic communication centers more into marketing, marketing strategies and numbers and getting to unleash your creativity. And PRs, it's like more related to crisis management and reputation. I feel like that's why I found the most interesting in public relations. I love the whole problem solving and crisis management thing, and I love when let me see how I word it. Like I wanted when I got here, the first thing I wanted to do was manage artists, like work with music artists. And I feel like crisis management, it's so good for that. Like artists get in trouble so many times, and things happen, and people have opinions, and so working with that, I feel like it's the most interesting part of PR, and that's something like communications don't go there a lot. They focus more on making numbers and getting leads and getting likes, and try to engage the public, and PRs focus more on keeping an image, a reputation, and so it's kind of similar, but it has some
That's so interesting. And so, how long have you been interested in the music side of things?
forever. I feel like ever since I was a little girl, I would watch like Disney Channel and be like, I want to be them. I want to be in Austin and Alley. I don't know. I want to be, working with them. And I feel like every single thing I've done in my life has to do something with music. Right now, my brother's a musician. He knows how to play like almost every instrument, and I I I don't have the talent, to play instruments, but I like the behind the scenes from all of that, and I see myself in the future working in something related to music. So I feel like it has been there my whole life, but I since I don't have the artist like kind of so I wanted to be in the behind the scenes part.
That's so great, and I think it's just such a great niche to be in. And I feel like the communication field, and especially public relations, allows for us to do so many different amazing things and be in so many great fields.
Yeah, I feel like I chose the best career like for me and for my personality fits so good with it. So I have no regrets. Like I said, I have no regrets.
I love that, and so thus far, leading into it, have you been able to take like some music business classes?
Yeah, I'm actually doing a minor on it. I finished it this semester, and it has been great. That's one of the things that inspired me to go to law school too, because music has so many laws related to it, and so many rules and stuff that has to do with following rules. And I feel like once I saw how much music was related to that, I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this like I'm gonna do as well. So I was already interested in it, and so I said like let's do it. But the music business classes have been great. I feel like it's I feel like it's the shortest minor because it went by so fast, and the PR one I felt that it was the longest. But I have enjoyed both so much. So
That's amazing, and I'm so glad that you're able to, to combine the two fields and use it to your advantage. And I know, of course, you will continue on to that in law school. And I mean, that's great that you're able to get all different angles for what you want to do.
Yeah, that's something I learned recently about myself. I love to learn everything. I wish I could learn everything. Like I see myself in every single branch. Like I could see myself in business. I could see myself in law. I can see myself in communications. Like I love to learn and I love to get things and whenever I see like, oh, you can get this certificate or you can take these courses, I'm like, I'm in. Like count me in because I want to learn new things and I'm always trying to learn new things and I'm always trying to improve my resume and trying to do that type of thing. I love that. So
I'm so glad. And I know for myself, I always, love being able to try a little bit of everything, whether it's long term or just like a 1 day thing. I mean, I think it's so fun being able to learn more, and it helps you learn about yourself as well.
yeah, I recommend it to everyone I meet. I'm like, you want to learn it, do it. You want to learn something, you want to just do it because you have one life. And learning new things, it's always going to help you in your personal life, in your professional development. And so,
Yeah, and speaking of personal life, so what do you enjoy doing outside of work and college? Well, you certainly do a lot, but when you do have time to yourself, what do you enjoy doing?
like I said, I love music. So, going to live concerts, it's one of my I love it. Like I see myself working behind the scenes of them one day. So I love to go to concerts every single time one artist comes to Puerto Rico. I'm like, I want to go. I don't even if I just listen to one song of them, I want to go. So I love live concerts. I love I'm also part of my church on like youth ministry. So I often I'm in church and I join the choir. So I'm often like when I'm not in school or working, I'm in church, or maybe I'm in a concert, or or sleeping. I love to sleep too. So
Well, that's great though. And have you been able to ask people some questions? If you happen to find any behind the scenes people, or even just take a sneak peek behind the scenes of anything yet?
yeah. So last semester we had like there's like a I forgot the name in English, but someone from the whole producing in music industry gave us a speech on how it works, and they were like, I'm gonna invite you someday. And so the art school of the university organized it. So hopefully this semester I'll go and I'll watch it and I'll be part of it. Also here in Puerto Rico we have in summer they do like a whole bunch of events, and so they take off volunteers to work for them. So hopefully this year I'll be able to attend because last year I had the opportunity and I couldn't. And I hope to this year, go and see how it works. So maybe I'll be like, if I like it, then I'll stay. And if I don't, well, I have the time to, back up.
Well, I certainly hope that you're able to make the most of it.
Yeah. Like I said, I've enjoyed university. Like, you have no idea.
I'm just glad that you're able to make the most of it and explore. And I know that you mentioned at the beginning that even though, of course, your university is in San Juan and that you were originally born there, if I remember correctly, but had you been um, had you been there frequently at all prior to going there for university?
Yeah, so my mom is also from here somehow. So my whole mother's side of the family is from here. So I often came to visit them. And whenever I came, I was like, I want to live here. Like, I love San Juan. It's just so different from my city. Because it's like, this is like, since it's the capital, it's like so much people, and it's more upgraded than any other city. So I love San Juan. I don't love the traffic, but I love the city. And it's one of the oldest city of Puerto Rico, so you can also do a lot of tourism. I don't know if I said that correctly. Um, so yeah, I came a few times before, and so that I feel like that was one of the things that made me actually come here. I was like, I have family here. I'm not completely alone. But I really enjoy living here.
I'm so glad, and I know that for me, history is such a big part of what I enjoy learning about, especially in our area. And so, like where I live, we are full of so much history, and so I think I learn something new like every time I go somewhere. It's like, oh, I didn't know about that. So I've been living here my whole life. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I had a professor that once said that the best college you can go to is traveling. And I feel like it's so true. Like you go outside and you see so many things that you're like you learn even if you're not trying to. So yeah.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And yeah, I mean, it's been so great being able to hear about your journey and what you have been doing in your college journey thus far. And so, how do you plan to end out this junior year for you in college?
So like I said, I'm doing so many things right now. I'm working and I'm meeting new people and traveling. And I feel like the junior year was my the fullest the time I had my agenda the fullest. Like I've been my first 2 years I was like testing the waters and I was like, I want to do this, but I wouldn't get too involved. And now this junior year, I'm like, I've traveled once, and I'm gonna travel again. And I also got to do the internship I told you about, and I met so many people, and I've done so many things, and I've participated in a lot of things, and I've written. I love to write, and I've written, and I got myself to write for like blogs and make publications. So I feel like I got the most out of my junior year, and I hope to do that in the senior year as well. So when I get off, and graduate college, I'd be like fully prepared, complete my career.
That's amazing. And after you finish, as of right now, anyway, and of course things can change between now and then, but um, as of right now, when you finish your your degree and then hopefully head into law school, where would you ultimately want to end up, location wise?
You mean living like in San Juan or like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I would love to be in my hometown. I love, I live in the west part of Puerto Rico, and I love the west. It's like the beaches are beautiful, the sunsets are beautiful. It's the culture. Like I feel like Puerto Rico, it's so small, but yet it has so many different things in each city. But it's not a reality. Like we don't have the same opportunities then there. So even if I wanted to, work there, I feel like I see myself here in San Juan, or maybe in like near cities, because I feel like this is where you find the most opportunities in the best months.
Well, I like that even though it may not work out like that, I like that you would still nevertheless want to go back to your hometown, even if it's just temporary, and that in a part because of your connection to it. And I really hope that now that we live in the internet age, that that communities are able to come together and build new opportunities that can make that a reality.
Yeah, that's one of my goals. I have a friend that's studying marketing back there in Aguadilla, and so I was talking to him about how if I got to reach for whatever I want to do and have my own agency, which is my lifelong goal. I want to make, I want to make it there and have opportunities for internships for people and scholarships, and I want to give them the chance that I didn't have, because right now there's not so many opportunities back there. So I was like, I want to complete my dream, but when I do that, I want to go back and help the people that are trying to do what I did, make it easier for them. So
Wow, I absolutely love that, and I know that you're going to make that a reality and make that happen.
hopefully, that's what I'm working for.
And yeah, I mean that's just so exciting that you're able to I mean, that you're able to do that. You're able to persevere through everything that you managed to do, from your school to, to your job, to your internship, working with your church, and everything in between. Even your different minors in addition to your major. I mean, you truly are doing a lot. And would you have any like advice for people who are also trying to work towards their dreams?
Yeah, I feel like uh, the best advice I could give is to put yourself first. Because like I said, I'm doing so many things, but I've also gotten sick. I've gotten like uh, times where I'll be like, I'm so full, I don't have time for myself. And I've learned to give myself the time, to eat well, to exercise, to sleep well, to take care of my own health. Because if I'm not healthy, if I'm not alive, I could never complete my dream. So I feel like you should take care of yourself and also take the opportunities you have. Sometimes you get an opportunity and you won't get it again, and take it. Sometimes you gotta risk. Sometimes you gotta, you can lose. You can, make mistakes. It's part of it. But when you have an opportunity to travel, to work, to practice, to, do anything you want to do, just take it and go for it. I feel like that's the best two advice I could give someone just trying to, work and study and complete their dreams.
I love that. And I mean, I think that's such a great message that I'm sure will resonate to so many of the viewers and listeners. I mean, 'cause I know even for myself, I'm someone that loves doing everything and loves working. But in the same regard, like you were saying, if you don't take that time for yourself, sometimes the time takes you.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could have the best resume, and then your health is like, so you won't get anywhere like that. So I've learned like the hard way that you have to take time for yourself, and you have to be your priority. So you have to take the time to fulfill your dreams. It's part of it. You need to learn. You need to grow. You need to work, but also take care of yourself.
Absolutely. And is there anything else that you wanted to mention while we're still speaking here?
Like I said, when I wrote the email, I am so thankful that you gave us Latin American students the opportunity, because I know you also interviewed someone else from Puerto Rico and the guys from Peru and from Argentina. So I'm so thankful that you gave us the platform to, get out there, because like I said, our opportunities sometimes are so limited. And even though our language barrier, it's kind of difficult to, get to speak with one another and understand it. But I feel like it's so great that people get to see people different from them actually achieving their goals and be like, oh, you know what? If they can do it, we can do it too. So it's so inspiring, and I'm so thankful that you gave us the opportunity of doing this.
Like I said, I'm just so honored to be able to hear to hear your stories, to hear everyone's stories, and and to me, it's just so uplifting to be able to hear about this and how everyone has been able to continue and to persevere and to uplift each other, even when the circumstances may not be the most ideal. And I truly want to thank you as well for for coming on and for sharing your journey. And I'm so excited to see what you're going to even do, in the coming months and years. From your conference that you're heading to in just a few weeks as of recording to even in the future as you hopefully finish law school and build your dream career.
Thank you so much. I hope to. So I'm really thankful. Like I said, when I talked to the girl that actually made the invitation, she was like, "They're like, do it. Like, we want more Latin American representation." So like you can see, I'm really passionate about that. So I'm really thankful for the opportunity, and thanks for all the good wishes.
Of course, and I did actually want to ask before we begin closing out too. Is how did it feel knowing that some of the people that have been on the show? And have you been able to listen to any of the episodes prior to speaking?
Yes, so that was my task the whole week. I was like, I watched all the episodes. I even watched some of the other people from USA that are not Latins, but I watched them. And I was like, I could say this, I could use this, and I was practicing my English because, like I said, it's my pronunciation gets messed up. So I was like practicing. I watched them. I texted most of them, and I was like, "You said this. It was so cool. I like how you encouraged to do this, and so yeah, I sat down and got the time to watch them. Hopefully, I'll see more of them in the future.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, I'm so excited was to have this opportunity to speak with you, and I'm so glad that you've enjoyed some of the previous episodes, and I know that there's some more coming up that you're gonna certainly love.
I hope so. I really want to congrats for your job too. I saw you were doing this from 2017. That's a long time. That's
Thank
really
you.
cool.
Yeah, I've always loved doing this, and every time I have a chance to self improve, I mean, I take it, and so um, it's honestly so hard to believe, like where I am now from when I started, 2017, and then started doing it regularly around 2020. I mean, it's unbelievable, but it's been an absolute honor.
Yeah, hopefully you get really far. You'll make it.
Thank you so much. And I did want to ask, so for those who are tuning in, what are the best places that they can potentially find you and connect with you online?
So I'm trying to use my LinkedIn more. I've learned how to use it. I'm trying to improve my profile. So you can find me in LinkedIn. And you can also find me in Instagram. My Instagram is a little less professional. But, you can text me. But I don't really use other social media that much. So I feel like Instagram and LinkedIn.
And I know, of course, LinkedIn is your name, but for anyone that's
Yeah,
listening to the audio version, what's the name of your Instagram?
it's Jerelyn Camille. It's spelled JerelynCamile. Because I know it's a weird name. So yeah, you can find me there on Instagram, and you can text me if you saw me here. Like, hey, I followed you from the podcast, so I'll know it is.
Well, that's perfect. And I did want to ask too. So I know that you've spoken about it a bit here on the episode, but I did want to ask another time before we begin closing out. So, what does it mean for you to be able to tell your story here on the show?
It's great. I feel like sometimes, we last conference I went, they talked about imposter syndrome, and sometimes I go through it, and I'm like, what am I even doing? Like, am I going the right way? And am I doing enough? Like, is this what I want to do? And getting here to sit and talk about what I'm doing and be like, I'm actually doing great. I'm actually like doing things I love. And so I loved it. I loved the experience, talk about myself. And I feel like even, like I said, English is not my strongest, but speaking about myself is, so I got to manage.
I love that you're able to continue to grow, and I know that you will continue to do so. And last but certainly not least in the episode, I want to allow for you to go ahead and help close out our episode, episode 111, by ending out with whether it be a closing thought, inspirational message, or whatever the case may be. The floor is all yours.
Okay, so I'm gonna close this by saying, like I said before, follow your dreams. This may sound like a cliche, but do it. If you want to do something, do it. Go for it. Look for opportunities. You want to go to college, then go to college and get the most out of the things you get. Most of the time, college gives you the opportunity to, work and study, or, do internships or do things that you can do that can help you grow in whatever career you choose. Do it. Do the most out of it. Get the most out of your education. Whatever you learn, it's something people can get from you, can take away from you. So learn the most you can. Explore, travel. I really encourage people to travel, and believe in yourself.
I love that. I think that is the best message that we could have to end out this episode. I want to thank you once again for coming on, and definitely keep me in touch with all the amazing stuff that you're doing now and in the future.
Thank you so much for inviting me. And also, I really admire you for what you're doing, and it's really great. And I hope you really go far away with this.
Thank you, and likewise for all the amazing stuff that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, for those tuning in, thank you so much as always for tuning in to the Tansson Talks show. I always appreciate your support. We're at 111, and we're going to continue on for another. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you next time.